If you haven't already, you should travel the Philippines soon because the travel industry is starting to bounce back. So if you look at your IG stories, the TikToks, the Reels, everything is about travel. Someone is on the plane, on a boat, on an airport because international tourism bounced back to 96% of pre-pandemic since July 2024. So let's talk about how that might affect your travels, a few travel tips during the end of the year here in the Philippines, and some cool spots that you might want to visit this coming 2025. According to the UN World Tourism Organization, the Middle East and Africa already surpassed international arrivals this year from 2019. For Europe and America, they're almost fully recovered. But for Asia and the Pacific, we are at 82% of our pre-pandemic tourist levels, which means we're actually lagging behind. But let's take a closer look into the Philippines. With almost 4.5 million inbound arrivals from January to September 2024, we are still kind of behind considering that during 2019, we had around 8 million. So we need to double that in this last quarter to beat our pre-pandemic levels, which is already pretty unrealistic. And the funny thing is we actually have more outbound travelers from the Philippines to other countries at around 5 million in the same period. So there's some sort of travel deficit we're experiencing here. And what struck me when I was looking at all this data is one person went to Montserrat. So, hindi lang pala font yung Montserrat. But either way, kahit now we are not yet there in terms of international arrivals, the revenues from tourism is starting to pick up and there's a lot of signs that our travel industry is recovering. Exhibit 1 is that Cebu Pacific bought AirSwift for 1.75 billion pesos. So bakit siya significant from huge consecutive losses noong 2020 to 2022 to now acquiring this Ayala-led boutique airline? And finally, we saw a relatively positive earnings report from 2023. We can probably expect good things from Cebu Pacific. So AirSwift is the only airline from Manila to El Nido, Palawan. So hopefully we can expect more and affordable flights as they merge business operations. Because El Nido, sobrang ganda sa El Nido. It's one of my favorite islands to visit here in the Philippines. And congratulations because they recently got included in the Condé Nast Traveler's Best Island in Asia, along with Boracay, Siargao, and Cebu. So congrats, Philippines. The next thing is travel is near all-time highs in the Google Trends search for YouTube. So that's obviously good for the channel and also good for the industry. And grabe, if you just scroll on your phone, I'm not sure if it's just me because of my algo. Everywhere I go, it's always about travel. So kaya din ba? Game. My sweat. And the next is the Love the Philippines DOT campaign. It's actually bagging a lot of awards and attention. So ako, I can personally see how productive and proactive the Department of Tourism is here in the Philippines. I recently got to work with them with 2 projects in just the last month. So I know they're really out there in the field trying to showcase the beauty of our country. And obviously, I have a little bit of bias towards that because they're supporting me with my work. But congratulations to the DOT. So in general, I think the Philippine travel industry is really doing good. But is that good for you and me, the average traveler? So on the positive side, there will be more travel options for you and me as the airline companies and even boats and ferries are starting to reopen routes to different places. Some countries are easing visa restrictions, leading to greater flexibility. However, that increased demand might also jack the prices up for flights and accommodations. But so far, we have been seeing a lot of seat sales from different airline companies here in the Philippines. So I think we need to take advantage of that before travel starts to fully recover here in the Philippines. Yes, that's right. That's why you should book the flight now. Joke lang, this is not financial advice. But if you're gonna travel during this end of the year here in the Philippines, here are some tips for you. First is avoid Baguio. Okay, I have no hate for this place. In fact, I was just there last month. And I love Baguio, the altitude, the sights, the temperature, the vibe. It's even a UNESCO site for creativity here in the Philippines. But the roads are not very well designed for transportation since it is a very mountainous place, as in traffic pare. So try to avoid that part. Of course, towards the end of the year, we are experiencing a lot of typhoons, a lot of rain. So that might actually be a good thing for waterfalls because during this time, the falls are more alive. So maybe consider going to Iligan because it's the city of waterfalls. Unfortunately, the most popular one out there is Maria Cristina and is still closed until today, but there are still a lot of beautiful falls there that you can explore. Also, the lechon there is pretty top-notch. But how about you guys? What are your favorite places to visit during December, during the Christmas season, and places to avoid here in the Philippines? Another great place I think you should consider going to, especially in the coming year, is Camiguin. It's not very crowded, it has an interesting history, and a lot of good spots for nature, even though it's the second smallest province in the country. And I'll be showcasing that next week. Yes, next week. So I need to finish that edit. So I made this video to make something less highly edited and something more conversational because I am a solo creator and producing highly edited videos takes a lot of time. And at the same time, I really wanted to see how the travel industry is doing right now as a travel person myself. So let me know if you guys like this format. Let me know how I can improve, what topics you would like me to cover if I can. And whatever we do here, the goal really is to travel the Philippines with purpose. So if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat and see you next week.